Welcome to Seen and Heard podcast, where everyone should be seen and heard. And tonight is breaking news. And welcome my host, Chrissy. Woohoo! Breaking news.
Hello.
Breaking news. Trump indicted by a Manhattan grand jury. The New York Times is reporting the indictment will contain felony charges. It will contain felony charges. Some people are debating on whether it's going to be misdemeanor or not, or whatever. I'm just glad that there's finally, consequences for his reign of terror on this planet. Let's play this clip. Wait, not this one. I was trying to remove that. So let's play this clip here. I was trying to get it queued up, but we're going to play this video.
Everybody's so creative. See how that looks like we probably wasn't supposed to do that? But we did. There's no other reason you would do it that way. See how it looks like you probably wouldn't want to see that? But you're seeing it here. See how beautiful that looks? It looks picture perfect. I paint a perfect picture. That's how it's supposed to look. See how it looks so differently different?
How it looks so differently different. Chrissy, how are you? This is a historic day. This is actually a historic day. And everybody next year is going to be like, where were you when you heard the news of the indictment?
Yep. I was right at home. Got that message from you. I said, wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me see. Went right on to my ABC News and they said it. And I said, woo. Yes, sir.
Now, the icing on the cake here, if I could get my computer to continue to not buffer here, we're just gonna have to wait a sec because we're poor over here, and I'm holding out hope for being able to get a new computer sometime this year, hopefully before the end of the year is out. But
Is
in
it
the
your computer or
meantime,
is it your internet?
well, both, because I'm running out of space for like all the editing, the video editing I do. So I'm running out of space. But this laptop has like been a a joy to work on, and it was better than the last one, so can't complain too much. But I wanted to share this statement from one of the Central Park Five. I wanted to show this to everybody. This is from Youssef, and I can't blow up the page. Let me see. There we go. Okay, there we go. Statement from Central Park 5 exonerated five member Youssef Salam on Donald Trump's indictment. Trump has never apologized for taking out a full page ad calling for the death penalty for the Central Park Five. New York City Council candidate and exonerated five-member Youssef Salam, congratulations, Youssef, issued the following statement following the indictment of Donald Trump by Manhattan District Attorney. Karma. That's all it reads is karma. Karma indeed.
Yep. So.
This is a long time coming, a long time coming. So let me see here. Blah, 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 blah. 34 counts. Okay, so we're getting updated news as the news keeps breaking. So I'm just going to leave that breaking news banner up here. So breaking news from earlier breaking news is 34 counts of business fraud. So let me pull this up here. Donald Trump has been indicted on 34 counts for those of you keeping score at home, that's 34 more counts than Hunter Biden. I'm trying to actually find the link to this to see. Let's see, what is it? Oh, okay, wait. So there is a video here. Lordy, there are tapes. Hold on, I'm gonna have to pull this up here. There's a video. We have video. Okay.
And I am told by my sources that this is 34 counts of falsification of business records, which is probably a lot of charges involving each document, each thing that was submitted as a separate count
Okay.
in a couple of matters. And I am told by my sources that this is 34 counts of falsification of business records, which is probably a lot of charges involving each document, each thing that was submitted as a separate count.
You're muted. You're muted.
So he's saying 34 counts, and I so that means that it's probably going to be more counts. So 34 counts for 45, which you know he's a career criminal. He's been criming for over 40 years.
But I
So
like the 34 counts more than Hunter Biden.
right, and 34 for 45.
Hmm.
30. So that's look. Somebody else said the same thing I said. They said 34 means he probably committed over 100. So that
Right?
assuming that it's 34, I could just only imagine that it's a lot more than that.
Yeah. They're probably still working on the others, so they can't confirm it until.
And this is just from uh business records. So this is not even for the tons of other crime he's done. So 34. Let's see. I'm just trying to find a link to besides that video, but that's the only one I see from CNN. Um, now, Mister Mister Doofus in Chief, he's freaking out and he's responding to all of these. So here is his response. They only brought this fake corrupt and disgraceful charge against me because I stand with the American people and they know that I cannot get a fair trial in New York. What do you think, Miss? You're up there in New York, and I know my late husband was from Queens, New York, and that's where he's from Orange
We
Orangutan
do
State.
not claim him.
New Yorkers do not like Trump. New Yorkers do not like Trump.
Now, if he goes and get a medical doctor to declare him mentally ill, which he is, then we maybe we'll claim him and say, okay, it's due to his mental health. But he don't think he has a problem. We don't claim him.
Even if that were the case, he's past past the point of getting any kind of
No,
sympathy
no,
for all of the destruction and death that he's caused in this country.
but at least there would be a medical diagnosis that
Right, right,
we
right,
could
right.
fall upon it. But there is no medical
It'll be
diagnosis.
on record. It'll be
Yeah,
on record.
you know, for the record,
Oh
on the
my
record.
goodness. Yeah, on record. We do need to get it on record because there is something definitely wrong with him. I mean, allegedly. I'll say allegedly because I'm not trying to do any kind of lawsuit or anything. So I'll put the key word in there, allegedly. I'll let you guys make up your own minds, but I'm trying to not have any visits from any kind of lawyers or attorneys. So I'll say allegedly.
Yeah, and technically it is allegedly until a court finds at the end of a trial or whatever. So
Mm.
until a court finds it so, it is allegedly. Even when there's actual video proof of stuff, it's allegedly until the court actually finds it. So allegedly.
Oh, is this oh wait a minute. We got another video. Let's pull this up. Let's see what Pence says. I think they had Pence on CNN earlier. Let's see what Mr. Pence has to say.
Jury, as you well know, as all of our viewers know by now, voting to indict the former president of the United States, Donald Trump. He's now the first president, former president in American history to be criminally charged. It's a really significant development. I want to get your reaction to this unprecedented development.
Well, I think the unprecedented indictment of a former president of the United States on a campaign finance issue is an outrage. And it appears to millions of Americans to be nothing more than a political prosecution that's driven by a prosecutor who literally ran for office on the pledge to indict the former president.
But it wasn't just, Mr. Vice President, excuse me for interrupting, it wasn't just the prosecutor, the district attorney in New York who did this. This was a grand jury of some 23 people, and you need a majority, 12, to go ahead and criminally indict.
Well, I understand that, and been a long time since I was in law school, Wolf, but I remember the old saying, you can indict a ham sandwich, right? The threshold, the burden of proof is very low. Prosecutors make decisions, discretionary decisions about what they bring all the time. Federal prosecutors passed on this. The Manhattan DA initially delayed it, passed on it. But when you have an attorney general in New York and a Manhattan DA that targeted one particular American in their campaigns, I think that offends the notion of the overwhelming majority of the American people who believe in fairness, who believe in equal treatment before the law. And this appears to be just one more example, Wolf, of the kind of two-tiered justice system that the American people have had enough of.
But your justice.
Let's talk about fairness as a woman of color in this country and from what I've witnessed. What was that? He was talking about fairness and this two-tiered justice system and all.
They have to say something, should in case nothing happens and Trump runs and wins the candidacy. So they have to say something. And also, that's one reason. The second reason is if they win the Republican candidacy, they need Trump's people to vote for them. So they can't say anything against him or anything too negative because they need the votes.
Understood. But I want to push back on this hypocrisy of the two-tiered system because as I recall, I'm old enough to remember when President Obama got crucified for wearing a tan suit and putting Dijon mustard on his hot dogs or hamburgers or whatever it was. I mean, the hypocrisy. And then the fact that the birther movement and all that. And then the way he's wanting to sit there trying to act holier than thou, then, oh my God, oh, woe is me. The justice system is just so not fair. Eric Gardner would beg to disagree about fairness in the justice system.
Yeah.
Brittany, what's her name? The lady that got killed in her bed, minding her own business. She sleep in between work.
Brittany Taylor or something? Was it Taylor?
Breonna Taylor.
Oh,
Breonna Taylor.
You said Brittany. That's why I knew it was a B.
Right.
Taylor.
Breonna Taylor would beg to disagree. So would the lady that the black lady that got pulled over on the side of the road, and then the officer they took her to jail, and then supposedly, allegedly, she offed herself in the jail cell. Sandra Bland.
Bland.
Sandra Bland would like to disagree. Would like a word. She has entered the chat. you know,
George
unfair justice.
Floyd. We have, who was the
George
other one?
Floyd,
The other one that died a few days later, that was in the hospital from being,
Trayvon Martin.
well, yeah.
So why I was just like, and see that's the thing. Like they're so used to not getting any kind of pushback, but that's okay. That's what this platform is for. That's quite all right. We keep receipts. Let's see what's going on at Mar-a-Lago here. Let me check the Mar-a-Lago. See if Mar-a-Lago is flooded with ketchup. I'm just tickled to death because the thought of the Trump's misery just brings me so much joy. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. If indeed no one is above the law, this is like a refreshing turn of events today. Okay, so we saw that one. Da, da, da. Everybody's just kind of. I don't read the New York Times. That's a paywall anyway. Um. Okay. Uh, okay. Let's just turn to. Let me see if they are still up. Okay. So I'm going to flip this around because apparently he has attacked Alvin Bragg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In
Not
court,
physically
obviously.
attacked, you mean?
So he should
No, no, no.
probably not talk
Oh.
about the specific case or the specific charges at this point. And the judge, will do what he's going to do. But Donald Trump, it's hard to control him. I think even his own lawyers struggle with that.
Karen, do you think it's possible that the district attorney brought that material, that photograph, into the grand jury room and asked for the indictment on the charge you just referred to of Donald Trump threatening this district attorney?
Look, anything is possible. I doubt it because I don't think it's joinable with this particular offense. It's really different. And I also think there's a question about whether Alvin Bragg would have to appoint another like Brooklyn or Bronx or Queens. He'd have to ask the court or even the Attorney General's office to appoint a different prosecutor because, frankly, you could argue that Alvin Bragg is the victim of that crime, and so you might not be able to prosecute that with the Manhattan DA's office. So, and all the crimes that I could think of when he did that were all misdemeanor crimes, which I found surprising because threatening a prosecutor is really just a misdemeanor. So I'm not sure that they would actually bring the case, but they can. And certainly if he continues to do that, I could see them bringing further charges. I mean, he's really walked that back. I think he knows he crossed a line when he did that because he really has walked that back, and he has now denied that he put that up there. He said they did it, whoever they are, and said I was calling for, I was saying they might do death and destruction. I wasn't calling for it. So, he's trying to walk that back. I think he knows he crossed a line there and committed another crime. And I just think he's got to be careful because he could absolutely see other charges from Manhattan. And as we know, there's still another case that's open, right? There's still the valuation of his assets case that is still open and under investigation. When Cy Vance left and Alvin Bragg became DA, Cy Vance handed 3 Trump matters over to Alvin. One was indicted, right? The Trump Organization case where Alvin Bragg's office got a 17-count conviction, and 2 pending investigations. Now, one of them has to do with the valuation of assets, and the other is the one that we're going to see the charges when they're unsealed on Tuesday. And that one, the statute of limitations is about to run. So that one they had to bring now. But there's still one more investigation that's pending in the office. So So we might see more charges coming out of the Manhattan DA's office. You just never know.
Dan Horowitz, first of all, thank you for your guidance on this program leading up to this day. When the news came out the other day that the grand jury was facing a previously scheduled break of Passover and Easter, there were many who thought, oh, okay, so nothing, no possible news until May on this case. You steered us away from that. You steered us toward the possibility that it could still happen this week. And you were the only voice with the kind of experience that steered us in that particular direction. And so here we are. What have you seen develop today that you're hoping we can get more information on? And how much more information do you think we will get officially before 2:15 p.m. on Tuesday?
All right, let me take that. Thank you, Lawrence, and thanks for having me. I want to say to all my friends who are on the show with tonight, but let me take the last question first. I feel pretty confident that whatever DA Bragg has been able to say, he's gotten a limited order from Judge Merchan. There's not going to be much that's going to come out, if anything, because the grand jury secrecy rules prevent him from talking. And of course, there's a tactical and strategic reason why you don't want to say too much at this point. So I think, Lawrence, that there's not going to be a whole lot that officially comes out about the shape of the charges and what the nature is. Now, I think that, there's some
Okay, we had some technical difficulties, so what are your thoughts on the other side of what we just heard? So they're saying that they're supposed to do it on Tuesday.
What do you mean? My thoughts on what them
On what
doing it
they
on
said
Tuesday,
about
or
the
the
indictment.
other charges?
Yeah, the charges.
I mean, the biggest thing that they were talking about really is like that additional charge because he threatened him. But like they were saying, and what makes sense is you don't try to lump that in because it is two different. It's apple and oranges. Threatening the prosecutor versus the business fraud and all that other stuff that you did. So those would be two separate issues. And my thing would be, as Alan Bragg, even if you want to file it against him, you're probably going to wait as long as you can before filing that, because he wants to prosecute it. And like they said, if he files a case against Trump, now he's the victim, he can't. It's going to be a conflict of interest. He can't do that because he's a victim in one case, so he can't prosecute another case because it's
So
going
do
to be
you think this
biased.
is a sneak attack? Not a sneak attack, but like, okay, so you remember when last week Trump tried to he basically grifted off of his followers by saying, "Oh, I'm getting ready to get arrested." And of course, immediately after that, he made like $1.5 million off of his followers, and then he
Mm-hmm.
did that rally in Waco, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was the only one that released that news. Like nobody in the Alvin Bragg's office or the DOJ released that. It was just all Trump. So of
Mm-hmm.
course everybody's like all freaking out, like, oh, he's gonna be arrested. So then it didn't happen. So he just basically made some money and grifted it, and then supposedly the Bragg's office was like, okay, we're not going to do anything until what is this? This is March, April till
Mm-hmm.
May. Then they were saying, okay, so we're going to delay it for a couple of months. Then, like, of course, everybody was all like, oh, okay, so again, we just had the football pulled out from under us, like Lucy with Charlie Brown and the football. So yeah, so we're all kind of cynical again. And then today this took everybody by surprise. So I could just imagine how much it took him by surprise because he just made a statement before that going, "Well, I now have so much respect for the office, Alvin Bragg's office and the DOJ because they said that they were gonna delay it for a couple of months." And
See,
then
and
today Everybody just got the shock of the life.
Because I mean, what you don't understand is, or what he obviously he's not going to understand. A lot of people don't understand unless you work in the court system. You don't understand that there are very many moving pieces. A lot of times it's scheduling conflicts, like they were just talking about the holiday. So he was going to wait to the holiday because the jurors are going to be a mix of people, a mix of races and religions.
Mhm.
And with Easter coming up, Passover, like they were saying, or whatever else, that's the Jewish people. So if you have any Jewish people, they can't come on certain days and they have to
Mhm.
leave by a certain time, So if you have any Jewish people in there, you have constraints on Fridays. A lot of them have to leave by a certain time on Fridays because if they observe the Sabbath. So there's a lot of moving pieces and they try to honor everything. And then also if they are looking into other witnesses and other paperwork. And a lot of times with a witness, they may say, I can't do this day, but I can do this. So there may have been a lot of issues that they were trying to work around. So they thought they were going to put it off, but things ended up falling into place sooner rather than later. And the thing with the grand jury, if they have enough and they feel they have enough, you move with it.
Mhm.
Um, so a lot of times it's just like back office stuff in a sense that things are getting pushed along because this person can't come and we need this person to come. Or like I said, in this case, especially with this being the grand jury and holidays coming up and different religions, different holidays, you need everybody to be there. So it's just like a lot of moving pieces like that. That's probably what took place. And like I said, they did say they were waiting to call back one of those other somebody that testified before. They was calling him back for something else. So like just stuff like that.
Well, like I said, I thought it was kind of telling that yesterday, Alan Weisselberg, which is all he was the CEO of Trump organization, and then yesterday he fired all of the lawyers from through Trump that was supposed to be helping him. He fired them all, and then today, then we get this breaking news. And you and I also were talking earlier about what Ron DeSantis would do. Well, here's a response that I
The
that
scaredy
that
cat, Ron,
this
the
is
scaredy cat.
here's a response from Ron DeSatan as of a few minutes ago.
Yeah, Ron, the
He
scaredy
says
cat.
the weaponization of the legal system to advance a political agenda turns the rule of law on its head. Yeah, like he follows the law. It is un-American, just like him, Mr. Fascist. The Soros back. Well, I'm not even going to say that because that's an anti-Semitic. They're trying to be blatantly anti-Semitic, which I don't. I don't. Yeah, we're not doing that. Manhattan District Attorney has consistently bent the law to downgrade felonies and to excuse criminal misconduct. Yet now he is stretching the law to target a political opponent. Florida will not assist in an extradition request given the questionable circumstances at issue with this Manhattan prosecutor and his political agenda. It looks to me like somebody is bent out of shape out of what Disney did to them yesterday.
Well, you gotta remember, he's the next kid right now. He's the next person in line that they're saying against Trump. So that's why he put in there it's a political attack because they want to make it seem like it's politics.
Yeah,
The
of
reason they
course.
want to make it seem like it's politics is because should anything happen and Trump cannot run and he goes to run, he wants it to seem
He
like
needs his voters.
even though me and Trump had words and Trump called me names, I still had his back with this because it was a political
Right.
attack. They were just so that's all it is. It's all for show. The
And that's
thing,
what Pence does. I mean, it's
but
like,
no, but
okay,
but
yeah,
Sharon, you have to understand. These are real politicians. These are real politicians. Donald Trump is not a politician. Donald Trump is an idiot businessman. He's not a
right.
politician. These politicians have been doing this. They went to school for this. A lot of them, most of them are lawyers. You
And
know,
they want his
so
voters. That's all this is
so
about.
so they know what to say and how to say it.
Mhm.
Trump don't. That's why he blurts out whatever the hell he wants. That's why he makes fun of the disabled on national TV. That's why, he talks about grabbing women by the vagina. Like, that's why he say all of this stuff, because he's not a political person. So he
Yep,
says what
and
comes to the top of his head because he doesn't have that filter. He's learned it slightly as he became president, but that's because people were telling him what to say, what not to say, and writing speeches and things like that. So he's
mhm.
learned bits and pieces, but overall, that's not him. But these people do this for a living. That's why they were in politics and in Congress and in everything else before Trump was even a thought to be a president. These people were already in place because that's what they trained to do. That's what they went to school to do. That's what they do. So these are politicians. That's what they do. When you have these actors coming in to be politicians, that's why you see the way they move a little bit is a little different, because they were not trained to do this. They become
Mhm.
smart in it over time because they're
Right,
not,
right.
things like that. But if you look at their background, unless they were in journalism before they became actors, or unless they were in, stuff like, unless they have that background, if you listen to their speeches and listen to stuff, you're going to hear the difference from a politician speaking
Mhm.
versus them, even if they speak eloquently in certain wordings or certain way they say things is going to be different than the way a politician would say it, because that's, again, a politician, that's what they do, that's how they
Right.
come up, and they've been in this for years.
The real politicians, they basically all have the same template.
That's what I'm saying, they've been in this for years. So,
Mhm.
and like I said, a lot of them have legal backgrounds. A
Let's
lot of them
hear
have
what
legal backgrounds because that's how they end up getting into and stuff like that. So,
Maddo has to say. She says politician indictments are normal unless a particular politician seeks to make his indictment a catalyst for his supporters and his party rising up and declaring that the legal system is now over. That the legal system should not apply to him. So basically, kind of what Ron DeSantis just said.
Yeah, and maybe will go away someday. Other than that tiny little slice of immunity for one person while they hold one job and only while they're in that job. Other than that, indicting politicians is totally normal. We do it all the time and we can handle it. Unless a particular politician seeks to make his indictment a catalyst for his supporters and his party rising up and declaring that the legal system is now over, that the legal system should not apply to him, and therefore it no longer applies at all. That would be something different. That is not an inevitable consequence of a politician being indicted. That is what this former politician and candidate for office is trying to do for the first time. That's the hard part. That's the part that could break us as a country. The indictment, it's Thursday. The indictment is not the thing that is going to change our lives. So we're going to talk tonight.
they're muted.
Yeah, basically. So he just wants to get away and not be held accountable for anything.
hmm
He's going to be getting a visit from the three ghosts here shortly too.
And then remember, like I said, and somebody said it before, there's other states. Georgia is a big one that they keep talking about because they're probably working on something and they're probably close to a finish line themselves.
hmm
So, mhm.
Well, this ends our first segment of the breaking news. We just wanted to get on here today to discuss this
To
historic day.
congratulate, we want to congratulate Manhattan Grand Jury. Yes,
Yes,
us New Yorkers, we did it. Yes, the New
yes.
Yorkers, they didn't let us down. You know what I mean? Alan Bragg, you got in there, you did the thing.
That's right. That's right. And we would also like to thank you, the listeners, the viewers. There's a Cash App up here if you would like to contribute to our show. and to help us with our programming. We also have a merch store. Let's look and see what kind of cool stuff we got here at the merch store. So the um the little barcode up here, you guys could use your camera and just kind of
The
scan
QR
that.
code.
Give the barcode
QR
up here.
QR code.
QR code. And then here for our merch, we have this nice little watch. I feel like I'm on the Home Shopping Network.
Or
We have this
QVC. Yeah. QVC Home Shopping Network.
we have this nice unisex watch here, and we also have this nice stainless steel, or I think it's stainless steel with the polyester lampshade, seen and heard podcast lamp. We also have, if that's not in your budget, we have a gel mouse pad to make your surfing the internet more comfortable. Seen and heard podcast. And would you like you could be cozy with a pillow behind your back, or sleep with our nice little cozy pillow.
That's one of them couch pillows when you laid up on the couch. And then when you laid up on the couch and then you start getting comfortable and you all of a sudden the pillow's by your neck in the corner on the armrest because the armrest is too hard. So you got the pillow on the armrest.
It looks comfortable though.
Yeah, and then you go from sitting down to all of a sudden your legs slowly on top of the couch and now you laid out straight across the couch. Mm-hmm.
We also have recyclable grocery bags for our hippie audience. This is a reusable grocery bag, and you can wash it, and it has Seen and Heard podcast logo on it. We also have these nice T-shirts, nice, comfortable, soft, cozy T-shirts here, and wake up in the morning with a cup of Joe in our Seen and Heard podcast mug. Or while you're listening to the show, listen to me, Chrissy, or Charles, or Miss Kenneth, and whoever your favorite co-hosts and hosts are,
I mean, and
with our mug.
you could say it's coffee. It might be Kahlua. You could say, it might be some berry
Right,
to the
right.
leaves. I
Or
mean,
yeah, get a mug so you can celebrate Indictment Watch, because we're going to be doing Indictment Watch. We will be doing another show tomorrow. So we are doing Indictment Watch, and we're going to do another show about this tomorrow. So we have to um, get updates. I'm going to get updates for the rest of the night, and we will meet back with you guys tomorrow. And thank you all for joining, and we will see you later.
bye. Happy Indictment Day from New York.
Yay!
We need our party hats and our party favors.
Yay!